there, and welcome to Lunch with a Life Coach. My name's Deanna. I am a certified life coach and wellness coach. And today I want to talk to you about anchor habits. And so it is a time of year for many that our routines are kind of turned on their head a little bit. It is summer, the kids' last day of school today, maybe some vacation for some folks. And that's all great. Enjoy the time off. We need that time off. And how do we get back on track? That is the thing. And you might be experiencing that already. You might be thinking, gosh, I'm really out of routine. I don't even know how to get back in the swing of things. So here's what I want you to sit with for the next couple of days. What are your anchor habits that really help do just that, sort of anchor in the day? What are the things that you do that really kind of help your brain go, oh yeah, that's what we're up to now. I know what comes next because I've just done this thing. So for example, in the morning, one of the things when I first get up, if you followed me for any stretch of time, I have two adorable little dogs, and not so little, but they're still adorable. And so in the morning, first get up, start my coffee, take them out to the bathroom. And then I know what's next. Next, I come in and I sit down and we cuddle and I enjoy a cup of coffee. And so that is sort of one of those, and it might be like, oh, that's nice, whatever. That is actually an anchor to my morning. And that gets me to know that what's next after enjoying that cup of coffee is I get up, I organize my day, I feed the dogs, I walk the dogs, then I get into my work day. And so it is something to think about. What are your anchor habits that will help get you back on track? And a lot of times we might not know what those are. So that can then be tricky, right? How do I know what to sort of bring back if I don't even know what works? So I'll invite you over the next maybe, I don't know, a couple of days, not a day that's a bit willy-nilly, like maybe not the first day of like summer vacation, anything like that. But when you think of sort of your regular day, when you get done the things you want, you get your work done, your workout, whatever the case is, right? When the day goes as you need it to go, what are the things that you engaged in that really helped your brain know what is next? Okay. So I really want you to think about, for example, if you've been off on vacation, because this is what is really difficult for folks. When we get off track, and the longer that you are off track, just to say, happens to everybody. Doesn't mean we're a good or bad person because we fell out of our routine. But the longer that we are off track, the harder it is to get back on track. And if we don't have a strategy that's like the flip of the switch to get us back into the swing of things, it can be really tricky. So I'm going to use sort of the Monday to Friday work example, Saturday, Sunday off. If that doesn't apply to you, if you work shifts, if you work a different, whatever the case is, I just want you to think of what is the start of your week, what is the start of your work week, or your, whatever that is for you. So for simplicity, we'll say Monday to Friday is work, Saturday, Sunday off. Let's say somebody's had a week's vacation. Awesome. I encourage you, I cannot beg of you, I beg of you, I should say, use your vacation. I know a lot of us don't have paid vacation, entrepreneur, but many folks do have paid vacation and they don't use it all. So please, if that's you, use your vacation. So if you've been off that week, then I want you to think about, you are going back to work. You have routines to get you to work, right? So what do you do on Sunday already? Do you make your lunch on Sunday night, or do you make your lunch on Monday morning? Like, you do things because you have to, because that's what gets you back into the swing. Awesome. That is an anchor habit. It's not something that you necessarily say, oh, I kind of choose, I do or I don't, or whatever. Like, you've got to make your lunch. So that is an anchor habit. Think about that. One of the things we love to do when we have habits that are already really sticky and strong, so you've been off your week, Monday morning you're going back to work, Sunday night you make your lunch, you're back in the swing automatically. If that happens, when that happens to that anchor habit, if there is something else you're trying to develop or change, add, or as James Clear in his book Atomic Habits, which is just over here, is why I'm pointing that way. What I want you to do is stack a new habit that you are trying to build on that existing habit. Okay. So we've got to know, one of the challenges though, when we talk about things like habit stacking, put one on top of the other, sometimes we haven't identified what our anchor habits are. We haven't said, oh, this is the thing that I do that gets me back into routine, or this is how I typically start a work day, or this is how I start to know that it is time to work out again. You've got triggers. That's how our brain works. We have some kind of cue. We do a behavior, then we get a reward. That's just how we that's how we work. And so I want you to think about that. What are those anchor habits already? And so how can you then pull those back, getting you back in the swing? And how do you use that idea to get you back in your workout and, whatever else it is you're trying to work on? If it's a little bit sticky or tricky to figure that out, just kind of jot down or voice note, whatever's easier and quicker for you. And I want to add to your to-do list. What does the morning look like? I did this. What does lunch look like? What did your evening look like? Just to start to see and look for those patterns, right? And then to say, oh, that's what I do on this day. And oh, I got my workout in. And this is what I did on this day. Oh, I forgot that. That's kind of why things went off the rails, right? We are not good or bad. It is not right or wrong. It is to say, what do I want? And how am I setting myself up for success? Or how did things go a little bit sideways and it didn't go the way I wanted, right? It's all sort of information gathering to really be able to find what's going to work for you and help you pull back into your routine seamlessly, effortlessly, so you're able to get done whatever it is that you want to do. I'm always cheering you on, and I will see you back soon.